Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you see, I've said it before and I will say it again. Not until Africa starts to wake up, Africa will never develop. There is an agenda that have lasted over 200 years. Even after colonialism, these Western people, they went back, they sat down. You see, the agenda is this: Africa requested for independence. They granted us independence based on human rights law, but they went back to their drawing board and find a way that they can recolonize us indirectly, which we are still facing today. The reality is this: Africa is still being colonized. That is the colonialism of the mind. Our mind has been meant to believe that we are inferior before the Westerners. Our mind has been meant to believe that we need them to survive, but invariably they are the one who needs us to survive. They are the one who is exploiting us. They are the ones who is relying upon us. Look at what Sanusi Lamido said in the conference the other day.
People talked about migration in Africa, and African leaders still go. They get called to France, they go and sit down. We're going to give you 2 billion euro to help stop migration. And ask a simple question. For the last 30 years, we've been told, open up your capital accounts and have free capital flows. Okay? It should be fine for Francis to sit in London or New York and bring dollars into the Nigerian stock market, buy shares, make a profit, sell the naira, buy the dollars, repatriate his profit without restriction. It's good for the world economy. Open up your market to goods, finished products from China, from Bangladesh, from United States. Buy TV sets, buy cars. It's good for your economy. Okay? Sell your raw materials freely. So we're told it's fine for goods to move freely. It's fine for capital to move freely, but it is not fine for people to follow the wealth. Okay? So you can sit in New York, bring capital into Africa, make the profits, take out the capital, okay? Impoverish because you're taking wealth. Nothing comes out of nothing. The profit that is made by the investor in the United States on his investment is wealth taken out of Africa to America. But the African cannot follow and share in that wealth. Why is it okay for capital to move, for labor, for goods to move, but not okay for human beings to move? Why? And you know what? African leaders go and sit down, and the Germans say, we're going to give you 2 million euros to stop migration, and they're very happy. And you know what it is? It's a fraction of the money we're making out of your countries so that you can keep your nationals in the ghettos that we have created. We need to have a conversation around the global economic structures. We need to protect African production. When you go to France, instead of asking them how many guns you need or how many pounds you need to how many euros you need to keep people, why don't you tell them how many solar panels you need to generate electricity and build a factory and create jobs? We don't hear that. 2 billion euro to keep. Why give the money to stop migration? Why not bring in the $2 billion and fix the power system in Nigeria? So you create jobs. If people had jobs, they wouldn't risk their lives in the desert or the Mediterranean to go to Europe. So the migration problem you have is tied to the poverty problem. And it's all tied to global inequality. It's all back to ideology. And I think we're at a point now where voices are being raised. And people are saying that globalization may have had a lot of good, but it has not been good for everybody. And some people have actually had the rough end. And maybe it is time to begin to retrace some of those steps and understand that the market has not been as wise and generous to all of us as we thought before. That's and that's why I'm happy that people like you still remain faithful to the old left-wing ideology. I cannot make any pretenses now. Dressed like this, no one would believe that I'm a Marxist, so I will not even I will not even pretend to be one.
Yes, you.
The Westerners, they believe that they accept that they can come into Africa with their resources, and Africa with their money rather, then Africa can come to their country with our resources as a form of trade. But they don't want Africans to come into their country to stay. Think about it. They can take our gold, they can take our oil, they can take our cocoa, they can take our timber, they can take our charcoal, they can take every resources from us in exchange for money. But they don't want us to come to their country to stay. Think about it. Now watch this video. Then as an African, think logically. Then you will understand that there is a lot that needs to be done. Funny enough, our leaders know these things. But you see, our leaders are so hungry. Yes, they are so hungry that they are after money. They are after the cash that these Westerners can give to them to enslave their own people. Is it not funny that in our today Africa, inside Africa, Africa have racial discrimination against fellow Africa? When you go to North Africa, you will know what I'm talking about. Is it not funny that today the Westerner will come to you as a president of a nation and give you money and say, do not let your people cross your boundary to us? But these same people will come and tell you, give me your crude, give me your gold. I weep for Africa, and I pray that this message that we are passing gets across Africa. Let Africa youth wake up. Not this, you see, they do Big Brother Nigeria in Nigeria. Big Brother Nigeria, they do it there. They don't go there to teach people what should be known. It is our time we Africa start seeking for knowledge. We should be knowledge hungry. Knowledge in the sense that we should know who we are. We should know what we represent. We should know where we come from. We should know our root. A lot of Africans don't know their root. Let me tell you one thing. A 20 years old African person knows little of his own history. But when you see a 20 years old German, he knows more about Africa more than an average African. Are they the one to teach us who we are, or we are the one to tell them who we are? But simply because we do not know, they take our history, they water it down, they have told us a lot of lies, and of course, they are deceiving our government with cheap money. I just pray that Africa rise up.